Hi guys, welcome to the video. This video is going to be really different because, well, I got scammed. There's no shame in admitting that because the fake was really kind of suspiciously good. And it was a fake bottle of Serge Lutens Tuberose Criminal, specifically in the Gratte Ciel presentation like this. And it was such a good fake that I feel like I need to make this video just to have this out for like community information, just so people know fakes are going around of these particular style bottles from Serge Lutens. Um, Someone out there knows that Serge Lutens is very desirable in the United States right now, so clearly there is some sort of fake market going on as well. I'm just going to be going through the differences and how to spot a real Gratte Ciel bottle versus a fake Gratte Ciel bottle, some of the precautions and all that. But I suppose I'll tell you the story of how this even happened first. Um, so I mentioned there's no shame in like admitting, getting scammed. I've never really, this has never happened to me before. I am very careful, like very careful when it comes to buying anything in my life. If there's one thing I don't like doing, it's wasting money. So I take every single precaution in order to make sure that never happens, okay? Um so how did I end up with this fake? Well, there was a seller on Mercari. It's kind of like eBay but different, right? Just like a marketplace, gray marketplace. Um and that's where you typically find, a bunch of different perfumes for sale. I was looking for a bottle of Tuberose Criminal, and there was a seller that was on there. Took a look at everything. I mean, the box was sealed. Absolutely nothing wrong with it really. And the seller had, I think, over 1,000 5-star reviews with I think one-star review. So, I mean, right then and there, that's a pretty good sign. You're going to be getting a very reputable seller experience. So I bought it, it came to the house, whatever. Had it for a couple months. Tuberose Criminal, for people that aren't aware, is a tuberose fragrance. It's very green. It's very fresh and minty. And to my nose, I mean, the smell was pretty much identical to the sample that I had. But wouldn't you know it, the sample might have been fake as well. Because taking a look at Tuberose Criminal pictures, as most people know, Serge Lutens dyes his fragrances different colors sometimes. Nigui is famously like a dark purple, Amber Sultan is orange, etc., etc. Tuberose Criminal is red, or like this crimson color, right? My sample was clear, and so was the liquid inside of the fake bottle, which is really interesting. So I'm not sure if the sample that I bought was fake and the seller knew that as well, because the sample came from a completely different website, and I bought many samples from this website before, and they were all real in terms of Serge Lutens. All the colors matched, all of the smells matched identically. But with Tuberose Criminal, it's interesting because I don't really have a reference for what real Tuberose Criminal smells like, considering I think the sample that I got and the bottle that I got are both fake, and they smell identical. So that's really weird. So I think what happened there is the person that's decanting actually bought a fake Tuberose Criminal like I did. Understandably, you're probably wondering, well, what is the website you ordered the sample from? I I don't want to say they're doing anything malicious. I did contact them, and I will keep you guys updated in the comment section of this video as to what their response is. My experience with this particular website is that these are, maybe just a single person or just a very small team of people starting up a brand new decanting website. And as far as my experience, every single thing I've received from them has been legitimate. They write like super nice handwritten notes, and they're very responsive to emails and everything. So I'm sure I'll have a response for you guys to post in the comment section to let you know whether or not to basically interact with this website at all. And now I guess I'll just go over some of the differences. So this is the fake bottle, okay? This is the fake bottle, and I'll go over in detail, all close-ups and everything. And this is a real bottle that I bought directly from Serge Lutens. This is Nigui. I bought this probably year and a half, maybe 2 years ago when they were still shipping to the United States, Gratte Ciel presentations. So I know this is real because I bought it direct from Serge Lutens, the brand itself. Okay, just starting off, the biggest thing to pay attention to, in my opinion, once you get one of these, and you want to make sure that it's real, is you take your flashlight up to it. Sorry, I just blinded you. But this is the real bottle. Look what happens, right? It looks black, but it is still, transparent. You can shine your light through it. You will be able to see, especially the top of the bottle here. Now, comparing that to the fake, you can see immediately a massive difference, right? Massive difference in opacity. This one is way more opaque, doesn't let much light through whatsoever. So that's a really good tell. Another thing that I forgot to mention and now I have to add into the video is if you buy a Gratte Ciel, make sure you shine the light through the bottle first, because the fake bottle that I got actually was 50% fill level, because whoever's faking it knows the fake glass weighs more. So in order for it to weigh like the same as a real one, they have to basically cut down the amount of liquid they can put in the bottle. So if you ever buy a Gratte Ciel, just do yourself a favor and shine a light through it first and check the liquid level to make sure that it is properly full, especially if you're buying a sealed bottle. And dissecting these two bottles last night under much, much scrutiny, I have to say the actual packaging was perfect. I mean, down to the color, the shade, text, placement, everything about the actual packaging these bottles come in, comparing it with a real box and the one the Tuberose Criminal came in. As far as I can tell, the Tuberose Criminal might have even shipped in a real box. I don't know. It's perfect. I can't tell any difference. But there are some major differences in terms of the bottles. So if you look at the bottom of the real bottle, the text, I can even get it to show. There we go. So as you can see, it's kind of hard to read, right? This is the real bottle. Kind of hard to read the information. But if you look at the fake, funnily enough, it's actually easier to read. Much easier to read. Okay? So looking for a real Gratte Ciel presentation, it should be kind of hard to read the text on the bottom. Okay? Another thing I noticed, the real caps, this is the real cap, it has a little bump inside of it. And in the fake bottle, there is no bump inside of the cap. Now, taking the caps off and taking a look at the collars and the atomizers of the bottles. So this is the real one. You'll see that, you see how there's space in between the neck of the bottle at the bottom of the atomizer and just the bottom of the atomizer itself? There's a little space right in there, okay? And this is screwed all the way down. Now, comparing that to the fake, this is also screwed all the way down. You can see there's much less space there, okay? And the atomizer, to me, feels like 5% different. It's just a little bit more crunchy, but bad atomizers happen on real products as well, so that isn't like a great indicator. But a really good indicator is also when you unscrew these, because these are decantable. So look at the fake. The fake, you can see the collar is actually clear. But on all of my other real Gratte Ciels, and I'll show you the Phi and IG here. On all of my other real Gratte Ciel presentations, you can see it's actually black. See that at the top of it? So that's a good way to tell as well. Let's see. The real cap. I want to make sure I'm not mixing anything up here. In terms of proportions, I mean, back to back here, I'm going to have to say I did measurements on these as well. In terms of measurements, they are basically identical. And it's actually really impressive how identical it really is from a measurement perspective. Everything from just all the faceting, the width, the height, there isn't even a millimeter difference, really. It is kind of scary how accurate they got it. You might notice there's no label on the fake bottle. That's because I ripped it off, because this isn't a fucking Serge Lutens. Get that label right off of there. But just for information purposes, the label on the fake one was like one shade of gray lighter than the real bottle. So if you look at the label on the real bottle, you can see that it's a different color from the bottle itself. Imagine that label was just a hair bit lighter color, okay? And as you can still see some of the glue marks from the label that I ripped off here on the fake one. I'll just try to show it in the camera real quick. Yeah, there it is. You can see the label was kind of crooked there. Not sure you can see the rectangle outline of where the label was. The label was kind of crooked, just a little bit. Um, yeah, that is pretty much a lot of the differences that I noticed. One other thing that I noticed is on the real bottles, if you take a really close look at the neck of the bottle, you see that little bump? The bump like right there. See that? There's two bumps on either side, and maybe that's part of the molding process. But if you look at the neck of the fake, there's really no bumps visible on this neck portion. Okay? And I checked all my other real Gratte Ciel bottles, and on all of them, some of them are less defined, but on all of them, there are two bumps on the neck. And yeah, that's basically everything that I noticed between the real Gratte Ciel presentation and the fake. In terms of the seller and all that, I don't really know what to make out about this seller because he has so many positive reviews. I'm not sure if it's a situation where they're knowingly selling fakes or they have no idea they're selling fake Serge Lutens. But I'm obviously going to show you guys the seller's name. I showed it in a previous picture in this video. I'll have it in the description, all the information. Conveniently, the seller is on vacation right now. That could mean something, that could mean nothing. I just want to also point out, like, no, this video is not meant to, like, incite any harassment towards this person, anything like that. This is purely meant to be sort of an informational video to help people spot fakes. If I were to suggest the best way to spot fakes, it's probably what I showed you with the flashlight showing the opacity of the bottle. In every single case, the real Gratte Ciels are partially transparent, okay? And the fakes, they're opaque. They don't really show much light coming through the bottle. And then the inside of the cap is also a good way to tell, and the text on the bottom. So, yeah, I just wanted to make this video, get the information out there. Back to normal videos whenever. If you enjoy this video, if you find this informative, hit the sub button, hit the like button. A lot of content coming your way. And if you're wondering, yes, I did buy a real version of Tuberose Criminal with red liquid. So I'll be doing first impressions and unboxing of an actual real bottle of Tuberose Criminal. And I think the funniest thing that came out of all of this is the fact that I think my sample's fake and the bottle was fake, which means I actually have never smelled Tuberose Criminal in my life. What the fuck? Like, this is bullshit. Yeah. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys later.